Am I audible? Okay. So if I'm not audible, you can tell me. Okay. Yes. So next we can start today's topic with few threats, or we tell it like an enemy of uh, distributed systems. Okay. So when you go through this distributed systems, there are a number of threats that we could able to face. Okay, and also when we go through the mm, model security threats, we could able to go through a number of process, and also we could make sure that the message that is being sent or the message that is being copied, okay, between the pair of process can be a number of challenges, okay, that we could able to face in this particular system. Okay, and overall, we could see that there are few challenges being faced in this data part. Okay, so how we could able to handle the data part, and also what are the main challenges that we could able to face. Okay, and when you see this, we tell it like an enemy. Okay, enemy in this distributed system, we could see that capable of sending any messages to any process, and what are the kind of reading or copying any types of messages. Are there any challenges being faced in this particular scenario, either in sending message or copying message or reading message? Okay, so we can able to see where this enemy plays its major role. Okay, when you go through this architecture, we could see the process, how one process initiates, and how it's being passed through some communication channel, and how the receiver, okay, or the server, how it extracts the information, and how it in turn gives the response. Okay, so in between two process, there is a communication channel, and information can be copied from one medium to another medium, and by taking a duplicate copy, it can the information can be communicated to the server. Okay, so in this communication channel, where it acts as a bridge between the client and the server. Okay, so there is a chance for this types of threats, or we tell it like an enemy, where it tried to penetrate into that particular system. Okay, so this is a main aspects of this scenario, and you could able to see that this enemy, it's it lays its main functionalities, or it penetrates into that particular communication channel. So it sees where is the leakage, where is the data leakage, or which part of the system can it be able to penetrate. Okay, only the means of penetrating is through this communication channel. Okay, so now we'll see what are the threats to these type of process. Okay, so the threat can be in case of security, threat can be in information breach, to protect or to attack the entire system. Okay, so there can be a number of threats to that particular process. Okay, so first is in case of server. Okay, so this enemy, it generates a message with a forged source address. So the source address can be a forged source address, making sure that people they access that address, and then they start processing that particular information. Okay, so when it comes under the server, the server can receive invocation from a number of clients. Okay, so whether it is a threat information or it's a positive information. Okay, so the server can receive invocation. Also, this server requires the inclusion of the principal identity in each invocation of messages. Okay, and a server, it cannot tell whether it can able to perform the operation, either read operation or write operation, or whether to reject that particular messages that the server receives. Okay, so this is how the server it has to go through a number of procedure where it makes sure that whether these type of informations, whether it is a threat or not. Okay, and next is related to clients. So when it comes under this clients, when a client, when they receive the invocation message from the server, it cannot tell that whether the source where the information has been received, whether it is a data from internet server or whether it is a threat. Okay, so here we can able to see the threats to these communication channels. Okay, so the enemy who can copy the information, who can alter the information, or who can inject messages where they travel across the network, and it's intervening gateways. So there can be gateways where it acts like a firewall. So that scenario also, the threat can able to communicate. Okay, so this is also another one challenges that we could able to face defeating these security threats. So how, what are the ways that you can make to defeat this security threats? So first is the cryptography and shared secrets. Okay, so the first is that how to defeat only through the cryptography and the shared secret. Okay, so what does it mean? What is mean by this shared secret? So first we'll see about the shared secret, and then we'll move on to the secure cryptography concept. So what is a shared secret? A pair of process, from where the client communicate to the server, okay, through some shared secret. That means the secret information should not be transparent, or it can be in another form, another cryptographic form. Okay, and if a message which is being exchanged by the pair of process, that may include the sender's knowledge, with the sender's knowledge or without sender's knowledge, where the secret information is being shared, has to be known to the particular owner. Okay, so that is other main challenge that we could able to face in this shared secret. And the next is that we can apply some cryptographic algorithm, or we can apply some crypto systems. So there are a number of cryptography techniques where we could able to secure the information. Generally, when you speak about this cryptography, this is a technique of securing the information and these communications through use of some particular code. Okay, so that only those concerned person where the information is being intended can able to understand and also to process it. Okay, so meanwhile this information can prevent the unauthorized access to that particular information source. So the prefix, when you take this cryptography, no, when you take the prefix, crypt means it's hidden. Okay, and suffix means it's writing. So hidden writing. So in turn, we tell this cryptography as hidden writing. Okay, and also this kind of crypto systems will make sure that all this informations that is being communicated will be hidden through some text. Okay, so that is other main things related to this cryptography. Okay, so when you go through this algorithms, as I told, no, we can use some certain algorithms for implementing this cryptography. Okay, So we can use some common encryption algorithm in which it can be used to transform the data into another form, that is data into ciphertext. Okay, so there are some common encryption algorithms where you can able to process, or you can able to work out in this particular security aspects. Okay, so already I hope that you might know about this some encryption algorithm like triple DES. So there is an algorithm called triple DES that has been designed, to replace the original data encryption standard. Okay, DES means data encryption standard algorithm, which hackers, they eventually learn to defeat. Okay, with relative kind of information. So at one time, no, this triple DES was being recommended as a standard recommendation and the most widely used symmetric algorithm in this industry. So they use this triple DES kind of algorithm. And the another one kind of algorithm is AES, okay, advanced encryption standard. So this is another kind of algorithm where it is being mostly trusted by other countries like United States. No, so they mainly they use this kind of algorithm, and it is being highly efficient to work in this concern area. And also some kind of limitations are there for this AES, like they use keys of 192 and 256 bits for that, like heavy duty encryption process. So that is related to advanced encryption standard. And the next is RSA security. So this RSA, it's a public key encryption algorithm, and the standard for encrypting data that is being sent over the internet. Also, it happens by using this RSA algorithm. It also like the previous triple DES or RSA, where it is being used with a pair of n number of keys. Okay, and next one of the this algorithm, you can also use this. I don't know whether you have heard about this algorithm. It's a blowfish algorithm. Okay, so this is being replaced by DES, that is data encryption standard. So this this symmetric cipher, it splits messages into blocks of 64 bits, and also it encrypts them individually. Okay, so mainly this blowfish is being known for tremendous speed and overall effectiveness. Okay, so that is a main objective of this blowfish. And another one algorithm is also there. It's two fish. Okay, so this computer security, is one of the mastermind behind this blowfish, and its main successor is twofish. Okay, so this is like expanded version or another updation of this blowfish. Okay, so either we can use this twofish or blowfish or RSA or AES or triple DES. So these are the different types of cryptography algorithms where we could able to implement for safeguarding our data information. Okay, this modern cryptography is being based on encryption algorithms that use secret keys with large number of data information. Okay, so that is related to cryptography. And next is through authentication. Okay, so what is mean by this authentication? So it is a process of determining whether someone or something is in fact who are what type of information it says. Okay, so the authentication, this kind of technology, it provides access control for systems by checking to see if a user's credentials match the credentials what is available in the database of authorized users, or in that particular data authentication server. Okay, so by implementing this concept, this authentication assures some kind of security systems which process and work out with some enterprise information security. Okay, so that is other main the purpose behind this authentication. So here the basic authentication technique or the main objective of this authentication is to include in a message with a with an encrypted portion which contain enough number of contents of messages to guarantee whether each and every informations are authenticated. Okay, so here you can able to see that authentication and authorization, which makes the data more secured and more safe. Okay, so that is other main important scenario related to this authentication. And the next one is the secure channels. So already you know about the importance of this secure channels. So when you go through this secure channels, so here the encryption and authentication, so they are used to build the secure channels. Encryption, they use another ciphertext for security purpose. And authentication, they use some key data sets for making sure that they can build the channels more secure. And this service layer, okay, on top of all other existing communication services, can able to who is that, ma? I could able to hear some voices. Okay. So next is each of the process, it knows reliably the main identity of the principal on whose behalf, okay, the other process is being executing. And every messages that includes a physical or logical timestamp to prevent messages from being replayed, okay, or reordered. Okay, so that is the main objective of securing channels, because the the hacker mainly, they try to check where they can inject the code. Okay, so the main place where they can able to inject is this channel, communication channel. So if the channel is being securely established, then uh, we can restrict the other users to enter into that particular systems. And here you can able to see the secure channels. So there is a process P, which is principal A process, and there is another principal B process. So in between this, the a secure channel can be established. The outer layer, the where the secure channel is being established is in the communication channel. So if you make the communication channel with a security channel, easily you can able to secure all the data informations. Okay. Next, we can see what are the other possible threats from an enemy. So now we are seeing about some information related to enemy that who try to extract the information, and how we can able to overcome it. And in this study, we can able to see some other possible threats from an enemy. Okay, like the first possible threat is the denial of service. Okay, so I hope you might have heard about this denial, like we call it as a DDoS attack, denial of service attack. So this is an attack which is meant to shut down a machine or network. So already I have said this in our class. Okay, so this may shut down the entire machine. So they penetrate into that particular system through a simple message. Okay, so when you click that message, the entire system gets shut down. So it's a very tedious process. Okay, but how the messages can come, so how it looks like. Okay, it looks like some attractive kind of informations, whether like giving some discount offer, or like you have won the gift prize worth of rupees 1 crore or 2 crore. So when people when they see this kind of information, immediately what they do, they just click that message, and with exciting, they just click that message or that inbox mail. And what immediately happens, the entire system get collapsed. Okay, so through some attractive informations, no, the enemy may try to penetrate into your particular system. Okay, so that is a main challenge that will be facing. Okay, so these DDoS attacks, accomplish this kind of scenario by flooding the target with number of traffics, and or sending the information that can trigger every crash. Okay, so when you go through this some possible threads, you can able to see there are some other list in this particular threads, like intent. What is the main objective of this threads? Okay, so they may their main intention is um, for platform misuse. Okay, so if the scenario exists, no, easily the threat can enter. For example, like misuse of iOS, or um, any other window OS, then through touch ID or through face ID features. Okay, so potentially resulting in unauthorized access. Okay, so these are the ways where they penetrate. And like improper use of OS secure keychain, so that's what they tell, that every OS has to be updated now and then, so that your your security key, will make sure that your system is more secure. Okay, and the other one is that because of insecure data storage also, we may fall into that particular threat. Okay, yeah, so insecure data storage, like apps that can store data, and if the data isn't sufficient, okay, sufficiently protected, then these things may happen. It could be accessed if your phone is no if your phone is uh, being or the data that you use in your mobile phone is, or it should be safe. Okay, if it is insecure means, then things may go in another form. Okay, so these are the ways which paves a way for threats. Okay, insecure data storage, then platform misuse, and the other one can be like insecure communication and data transfer. So when you transfer, either it can be a data transfer or it can be app you transfer. Okay, so these insecure communication, could leak sensitive information, even if the app, were built according to the platform guidelines. Okay, even though you built that app according to that platform's OS guidelines, and during your sharing of information, okay, threats can that's a possible way of threat which can affect. Okay, and the next is failure to sanitize user input. That means if your application enables user input, which interacts with your backend like remote server, without proper sanitization applied to that particular input, you are opening the door to various attacks. It's in your hand. Okay, like cross-site scripting attacks, then remote code execution attacks, path traversal attacks. So these are the some other attacks that we can able to list it out. Okay, and another one also you can able to list it, like insecure authentication. So this is a critical one, type of authentication when you code an app, when you code an application. So before granting access to the user, an app, in case of mobile or any other platform, needs to be authenticated by the user or by the developer. Okay, so that is the other main important information. Then sometimes like weak or poorly implemented cryptography might be also one of the other reason, like use of weak encryption algorithm. Flaws can be there, flaws in implementation of cryptographic data information. Insecure authentication is also possible. Okay, so these are the different informations or the threads that we could able to receive, or we should be make sure that this everything may happen, and we have to safeguard our own data. And next is mobile code. So when you take this mobile code, now it raises new and interesting security problems for each and every process. When you know open an app, also this program code will make sure that whether it is a um, it is a positive or some threats are there. Okay, so this is another one major informations. And when you go through this network performance, okay, you can able to see some of the bandwidth performance related to these threads, where some challenges might also be happening. Okay, in wired, when you take this wired, no, in case of LAN or WAN, okay, or WPAN or WLAN. So these areas, you can able to see the network performance. So before the thread that is being happening, and after the thread. Okay, so both when you see parallelly, you can differentiate. When you differentiate both the informations, easily you can able to detect the where the mistake has happened. Okay, yes. So with this, no, I like to we have seen in this class, we have seen about the some of the threats that we could able to face, or the challenges that we could able to face, and how an enemy, okay, attacks the entire system, and how we could able to overtake or overcome with some cryptographic algorithms. And we have seen about how to overcome it. Okay, with this I would like to conclude, and remaining we'll see it in the next class.